What is going on, everyone? So today we're going to be running through a pretty much a full masterclass beginner's guide into appointment setting. So we're going to share my screen now, and we're going to run through this lovely PowerPoint that I have made for you all. So straight off the rip, right? I hope you all can see my screen here. Appointment setting masterclass beginner's guide, right? This is the best way to make money online as a complete beginner. The best way. So today, what we'll be running through essentially is an introduction to appointment setting. What it is, why it is the best thing to start as a complete beginner when you're trying to get into the online space, how to actually set appointments. So what it actually looks like, what you're going to be doing, what a conversation looks like, then of course how to land an appointment setting role, pretty much everything that you're going to need in terms of getting started with appointment setting. What is appointment setting? Best way to start, how to set appointments, how to land a role, and why it is the best thing to start as a complete beginner. So straight off the rip, right? What is appointment setting? Essentially, right, online businesses need appointment setters to send messages on their behalf. Online business owners don't have time to send messages because they're too busy running the business itself. For example, if you are an online coach, you sell a fitness program where you coach people how to lose weight, you're going to be too busy either posting content, creating content for your business, and then actually helping your clients inside that business. So looking after them, their needs, checking in with them with if they're hitting their meal plans, if they're staying to the diet, if they're hitting the workout. So you're too busy working on fulfillment inside of the program where you don't actually have the time to send messages. So that's where appointment setters come in essentially. That's where you need appointment setters to send them messages because you're too busy, right? So online business owners do not have the time to send messages because they're too busy running the business itself. Now, warm leads, interested customers, right? That's what a warm lead is. Will reach out to the business owner interested in the product or service they sell. So it's your job as an appointment setter. So to qualify the lead, aka the warm prospect, by making sure they can actually afford the program itself and that the product or service that this business owner sells will actually be a good fit for them, if it's actually going to work out for them as well, and if they are going to be a good fit for the program. If you've got someone right on their own, on their like a bit big ego, full of themselves, like you don't want them in the program because it's going to be a cancer, right? You want someone who's actually willing to put the work in, actually has the investment to invest in themselves, and of course, like will benefit from the program. So it's the appointment setter's job to then book in the warm leads on a sales call with the closer, right? So you qualify them, make sure they're good fit for the program, and you book them on a call with a closer. Then it is and if the closer closes the deal, right, the appointment setter will receive 5 to 7% commission on that sale. Industry average is either 5 or 7% usually. So typical investment for high ticket products and services is around 5,000 US dollars, right? So for every appointment you set, that the closer then closes the deal, you'll receive 250 USD per book call. So it's good money, right? For fucking sending messages. You're sending messages anyway on the weekends to fucking fat jokes, so you're going well there. Now, why appointment setting is actually the best, for beginners itself. First things first, right? You don't need to show your face. You don't have to post content. I feel like, especially in Ireland, so many people are they don't want people knowing their business. I hear that a lot. Don't want people knowing my business. Don't want people knowing I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So I like to stay anonymous. So this is perfect for someone who does not want to post content, who doesn't want to jump on a Zoom meeting or a sales call and close the deal, right? Who just wants to send messages. This is ideal for someone like that. Because the Irish mindset, right? I don't want to post content because what if fucking Mickey John from year three sees me, right? So again, you can do it from anywhere in the world. You can do it anywhere. You get to actually see how online business work and operates. So you can see on the inside and the back end how these run, how they operate, everything in between. All you need is a phone, Wi-Fi, and some work ethic, right? That is it. Does that seem like a fucking hard day's work? No. You can also do this alongside your job as well. That is a really good one. You have the time there. It's very manageable to work your full-time job, do this on the side, and then whenever you have a good base built from this, everything's going well, you're making good money, you're matching your income, making more, you then have the opportunity to step away from your job. and take this on full time. So you can do this alongside your job until you're making enough money to eventually leave your job. That is one of the best reasons why appointment setting, I feel like, is the best for beginners when getting started in the online space. You only need to learn one skill, don't have to show your face, don't have to post content, you can do it from anywhere. So step one, right? Lead generation. A lot of people ask me, what I don't understand is where do these actual leads come from? Well, how do we, where do they come from? Like, who's interested in buying these programs at fucking $5,000 for thousands of dollars, right? So, online business owners will generate leads with, first of all, organic marketing, which is simply just posting on social media, right? They just take a video, they post it. That is organic marketing. Then you have paid marketing, running ads. So they actually pay to run ads, and they'll do this on either Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all over, like LinkedIn, like any platform you can think of, right? Online business owners, will use that as their marketing. So again, opt-in page, email marketing. So if you ever been scrolling through something and you flicked into it that you've been interested in, tells you to put in your name, your email, your phone number, right? That's an opt-in page. That's another way as well to generate leads. Then of course a CRM pipeline. What a CRM pipeline is, it's basically, right, the business will have warm leads tracked in a sheet. Like they've already come into the business. They've already maybe been on a call before. Maybe they didn't close. Maybe they were interested and they went through the process of setting, then they ghosted you, right? So all of those leads will be tracked in a CRM. So again, you'll have access to that. And again, if you're hungry, you got work ethic, you can literally rip into that, start dialing consult, try and get them booked in for calls. So those are the usual ways where leads are generated from. Now, step two, when you've got all these leads coming in, right? How do we actually qualify them? How do we actually set the appointments? So pretty much, right? I've got here info gathering. This is like a framework that you want to use when you're actually setting appointments, right? First things first, step one is information gathering, right? Why they actually reached out to said business owner in the first place, because you're going to be pretending to be them on their behalf. So why did they actually reach out in the first place, right? What pain or struggle were they facing? If this is a fitness coaching offer, for example, why are they reaching out looking to lose weight, right? The pain is they're a fat cunt, right? The pain is maybe they want to walk their daughter down the aisle and they want to lose 3 stone. Okay, perfect. We have a pain and we have a struggle. Okay, so we have a want for them to make a change. So, do they have a job? This is how you financially qualify them, because at the end of the day, yes, listen, I know that some people will want to change, but like if they don't have a job and if they're in debt, they're not going to be fit to, come up with the initial investment to join the program, even though it'll change their life. Or, you're not Mother Teresa at the end of the day. You still need to make money from this. So do they have a job? And then this is pretty much how you can qualify the lead. If they have a job, if they've got income coming in, perfect. We know that they've got an income, right? They know we can get them booked in a call. They can go with the investment. So have they tried anything in the past to fix pain or struggle? So this information gathering, then this would be past information. So for an example, if we were setting someone, it would be, I want to lose weight so I can walk my daughter down the aisle and lose 2 stone. Okay, perfect, right? How long have you wanted to lose weight for? 2 years. Okay, so have you tried anything over the last 2 years then so you can lose the weight, walk your daughter down the aisle? Then they may come up with something that they've tried this, tried that. Okay, perfect. So step two is goals. First of all, does the product or service that you sell actually fix their problem? Right? Now, if you're selling a fitness offer and this person wants to lose weight and you know that you can help them, it's like perfect. If they tried something in the past, let's say I tried a keto diet, tried to take the stairs all the time, took my 10K steps, but I still can't lose no weight. Okay, perfect. This is what's wrong. This is what hasn't worked for them in the past. So it would be a matter of our product or service. Okay, do you feel like if you had whatever we offer, XYZ, that could help you get started? Yeah, I do. I feel like that would help. Okay, perfect. So where would you like to see yourself in 6 months then with our help? Then when they give you the goal, I want to be here, 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 here. Okay, perfect. You can book them then in on a call with the actual closer themselves, because we've got pain, right? We've got a problem that needs fixed. We've got a want to change. Most importantly, we've got a job, so they're qualified. We've got the goals. Get them on a call with the closer, let the closer sort it out from then. It's a pretty simple process. Like, it may sound at the start like a bit confusing, but it is a very, very simple process. If you're sending this 100 times a day to 100 different leads, Like you're gonna know it like the fucking back of your hand. So step three, booking the leads. So step one, right, is to book the call. So you went through the setting process, you've now booked them in on an actual call itself. Let's just say that you've booked them in on a call, you've been messaging this person for a couple of hours. By the time they respond back, maybe they're at work, you've booked them in on a call for a day's time, 2 days' time. You don't just stop messaging them. Okay, you have to nurture them. You have to keep messaging them right up until that call, and even after the call, no matter what the outcome is. You've done all this work to reach out to them, to build rapport with them, figure out what their problems are, their pains, to then book them on a call. You can't just turn around and stop. All that work wasted, right? So book the call, nurture them, and nurture the lead up until the call and straight after the call, even if they close or not. Now, then you need to track the outcome of the call, whether they close or whether they didn't close. Okay, you need to track all of this because 20% of all deals close in the first contact, right? What does that mean then? 80% of the sales are all closed in the DMs on follow up, right? You see, of all the deals you don't close, you need to track them all so you can follow up them as an appointment setter. When you hear those figures, right, only 20% will close at first contact. All the money is in the DMs. It's your job to track these leads. This is your bread and fucking butter. You need to be tracking them, be like, okay, he's on a call. This is how it went. I'm going to reach out to him with more value. Because no matter what happens on that call, right? Let's go back to the fitness offer, for example, right? Let's say Michael wants to lose weight, like we talked about before, walk his daughter down the aisle. Even if you pitch him the 5K and he's like, oh, fuck, I don't actually have that sort of investment right now. He's still getting off the call and he's still a fat cunt and he still wants to lose weight to walk his daughter down the aisle. The pain is still there. The problem is still there, regardless. So for you then following up, right? Next thing you know, it's been a month. Okay, you might not have the investment yet. 2 months, not 3 months. You might have it then. You might have forgot all about it. Next thing you get, a wee follow up from you. Boom. He's like, oh fuck, yes, I forgot all about this. You know what? Now's the time for me to make a change. It's been 3 months from that call. Where could I have been in those 3 months, right? So that is where 80% of the actual money is made in the follow-up itself. So commission structure, right? So let's say that the fitness coaching offer is $5,000 for yearly access. 10% goes to the closer, right, which is $500. 5% goes to the appointment setter, which is $250 US. Now, the industry average close rate is 20%. Doesn't matter what offer you're on. If the closure is not closing at 20%, they're off the offer. You usually get a probation phase until you catch your feet with it. But after that, if you're not closing at 20%, you're gone off that offer. So, for example, if the closer takes 40 calls in a week, that's a 40-hour work week. 40 calls in a week, he will close it because that's the industry average. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on the offer. So $5,000, 8 a week, right? That's 4K to the closure. That's 2K, to the appointment setter per week, right? Bear in mind, he's taking 40 calls, which is very doable. I know lads that take 60 calls a week. So there's the numbers. That's the breakdown of it, of how lucrative this can actually be and how lucrative it actually is, because that is the average, right? Most offers are in around 5K, especially in high ticket space. A lot of them are a lot more. So that there breaks down the numbers, and you can actually see the potential of what sort of income you can actually make from this just sending DMs. Now, how to land one of these roles. Okay. First of all, right, you've got Facebook groups, cold outreach methods, right? So with the cold outreach methods, you've essentially got their Instagram and YouTube. You've got job posts, LinkedIn, Upwork, Seek, Indeed, school communities. Then you've got networking and referrals, which in my opinion is the best method. And that's exactly the path that I went down. That is the best method, which we will cover later on towards the end of this call, right? So first things first, right? Facebook groups. A Facebook group here, right? Straight off the rip, right? This is high ticket closure appointment sellers, free job opportunities in high ticket sales. Now, bearing in mind here, just be careful because if any of these people ask you to join a Discord or to invest money to join to pay for a role, that is a scam. Do not join that. Okay, you do not pay for a job. Now, straight off the rip, right here we have here, we're hiring high ticket sales appointment setters, remote opportunity, part time, 2,500 to 7,500 a month, right? Are you an up and coming appointment setter looking to improve your skill set, use your power or persuasions for good? So about this role, inbound leads, all leads coming from Facebook and IG ads. This is perfect. We do not want cold outreach, cold outbounding because it's free labor. People will be like, well, promise you the world. They'll promise you the absolute world. You'll make all this money, this, but you make fuck all. And it's just free labor. Essentially, you need to make sure that it is. You need to make sure that it is warm inbound leads because look, they're coming from Facebook and Instagram ads. So this person's running ads, the leads are then watching these ads and coming because whenever you pay for ads, it goes to your ideal avatar, right? So again, fully remote, work from anywhere. This one here is 10% commissions per sale. So not even five, not even seven. This here is 10% commission. So that there is a really good opportunity there. Now, if we go into this here now is called Seek. Now, Seek is actually an Australian website. I have quite a number of Irish that live down under that live in Australia who messaged me, so I thought it'd be important to bring this up. So straight off the rip here, right? We have renewable energy appointment centers where it's see again outbound the shit, right? Again, yeah, it's paying you 80 to 120K a year, but that there would be more of like a job where you're working, 9 hours a day, sitting there with a headset on. So that there isn't really ideal. Okay, so here, look, here we have appointment center closure, ecom coaching, fully remote, work from home. So on this offer, you have strong base salary plus clear commission structure. So this one here, right? You have your base and you have commission on top of that. Hot leads from inbound and reactivation lists, no cold prospecting. That is ideal. It's remote. You have your base, you have commission on top of that there, and of course, they're inbound leads, right? You couldn't fucking beat it. Again, here, earn potential 70K base salary plus commission structure, 120,000 plus on target earnings, right, per year. That's on target. So if you're average on target, perfect. But if you've been a work ethic, there's no reason why you can't scale well beyond that. So that again, that's Seek. That's an Australian website. Again, a lot of people on it will just say on some of these job postings will be fully remote, and like you can still land a role on this here. Doesn't really matter where you're at because some of them it doesn't actually matter because they are remote. Again, another one here, 70K base, 50K on target earnings, and plus 11.5%. So again, another good opportunity there. Now here we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn, another really good site as well. LinkedIn is probably one of the best, to be fair. You see, I'll explain why this is the best in a second. So here we have here, right, straight off the rip, we have hiring an appointment setter on target earnings 2,000 to 2,500 USD a month. The niche is skincare, right? So you have an appointment setter manager, 100% remote, your civil responsibilities, qualify inbound leads. So that's really good again, right? Specific responsibilities. Inbound leads, book leads in the closest calendar, follow up with no shows, manage time properly. Again, essentially there, right? You have there, this has base as well. So US 750 USD a month base plus 5% commission on close sets. So we don't ask for any money or any sort of investment in return. That is perfect. That is what a role should look like. So again, there's a good one there. Here's another one here. Opportunity for an appointment setter. We are currently hiring for an outbound appointment setter. Looking for someone outbound appointment setter experience in B2B. Outbound, nah, we're not about outbound, right? You don't really want to be about outbound. So again, here we have another one for solar, right? It's a source pretty much for solar. So 50 to 100 per qualified appointment, fast weekly pay every Friday, flexible work from home schedule. Again, more roles here. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you was essentially cold outreach method with Instagram. Now on Instagram, right? If I go to Instagram here, this is a high ticket coach that I know, right? Austin Raven. Austin here sells. Now, whenever you see the link in the bio, okay, you click the link in the bio. This is how you're gonna know if this person is selling a mentorship. So we have one-to-one ecom mentorship. Boom, he has a mentorship. Now, what you want to do is you want to message him, okay, and outbound him, okay. Send him a message as to why you want to become an appointment setter for him. Now, on Instagram, if you go to your search bar, if you message at the top, right, and do a niche and put coach. So if you write ecom coach, um, for example, Amazon FBA coach, Airbnb coach, right? They would give you a bunch of creators to then go from, right? And that you can reach out to. Again, because Instagram will just give them all to you. You can click the link, you can see the following they have, they can see the link in their profile, and then you can just go from there and message them. So as long as they have a link like that in their bio, right? You can see that they do sell a mentorship. You can actually essentially go from there. Now, this is why LinkedIn is probably one of the best. Whenever you reach out to the likes of Austin, he has an appointment setter in his account. A lot of these guys do, right? They have appointment setters already. When you're on the likes of LinkedIn, you're going to be dealing with sales managers. So you're going to be speaking to them directly, opposed to chatting to an appointment setter and one of these guys DMs. But I have had a good few guys who have got even closing roles from Instagram outreach. So landing a role, first things first, you should never pay for a role. Never pay for a role, right? It's a job. Why would you pay to have it? Now, whatever role you go for, all those ones I showed you there, for example, do your research on the business to make sure that it's legit, to make sure that it isn't a shitty offer either, that is actually you can make money on it. Now, if you reach out, let's say on Instagram, YouTube, cold outreach, and they say no, right? Don't be discouraged, right? You're going to have to get used to it because that's sales. Okay. You're going to have to get used to no's. You see, if you reach out to someone and let's say they don't even say no, let's say they don't even text you back, right? That's still not a no. So if you reach out to someone, you don't get a response, hit them up again. No response, hit them up again. No response, hit them up again. That actually shows good traits of a salesperson, right? You're consistent, right? You're persistent as well. So do not be afraid to triple text fucking 4, 5, 6 times text someone who has a really good offer that you want to be on. Because at the end of the day, you're one yes away from changing your fucking life. And that's straight up one offer away from no more work, travel, send messages. So landing a role, no matter what, right? It is 2025. We live in a content economy. Clean up your socials, right? Cannot stress this enough. Clean up your socials. See on your Instagram, no fucking photos of you looking like a knob with the lads at a festival or like on a fucking boat party with a pile of women hanging off you. None of that bullshit. Like if I'm paying for odds, every warm lead I bring in for my odds is probably cost me about 80 USD. I do not want some clown who is going out and getting taking fucking drink and getting fucked up put all over social media as my app hype setter. Get your account cleaned up or I'll start a new one. Right? Make sure it's clean. Straight off the that is your modern day CV. The first thing anyone's gonna look at. Make sure your socials are clean. Now, the outreach message tip, right? So don't hound the business owner and ask if they are hiring, right? You sound like every other fucking clown, right? You reach out here, are you hiring? Are you hiring? You sound like every other knob jockey who's reaching out to them, right? Now, you want to reach out to these people with value. So whenever you reach out to them, for example, give them value. Show that you actually know what you're talking about, that they should give you a chance, right? So for an example, let's say we reach out to an online business owner, we say something like this. Hey, John, not sure if your current sales team is doing this, but I've seen providing a short pre-call video message to the prospect 24 hours before the call increases the show-up rate and the quality of the call. With something like this, you're giving them value. You're actually showing, right, wow, okay, so this guy actually knows what he's talking about then in terms of when it comes to calls, and you're leading with value. You don't just sound like every other knob, right? How you hiring? Are you hiring? Are you hiring? Are you hiring? Right? Why would they turn around and give you a shot? But then you stand out from the crowd, you actually lead with value, right? Like, hold on a second, this guy's actually done something different than everybody else. Okay, what's his buzz, right? Then they might look into you then. Now, this is the best way to get noticed. If you reach out for John, for example, with that message, you're then going to then follow up with him with an intro video. Okay, intro videos are the fucking dog's balls to landing an opportunity. So let's say you found a business that's looking for appointment setters. The best way to stand out from everyone else is with a personalized intro video. See, this is the best way to stand out because it shows the business owner how you speak, how you present yourself, right? And it makes a great first impression. Whenever you pull out your phone, right? Take a video, show that you're confident, right? Show how you present yourself, shows how you speak, shows who you are. Okay. Everybody else just sending messages. Here you come in, you just led with value. You just shot me over a video of you pretty much breaking down and listen. But loving your content, love what you do. I would love for example, you about your phone and you say, hey John, hope you got my message all right. Just want to say, I've watched your content for a while. I really love what you do. Really hoping you get back to me in terms of maybe a spot as an appointment setter on your team, right? You just live with value on a video, right? You're going to stand out from the crowd compared to every single other person who's trying to reach out. So, and again, it's super simple. All you need is your phone. Whip out the phone like this, right? Now, how to shoot one, right? How to shoot the intro video, right? Be clear, short, and precise in the video. Do not rambling on for fucking 5 or 10 minutes, right? 2, 3 minutes, get to the point. Another thing, if you are reaching out to a lot of people, do not use the same video. You put out your phone and you personalize it to the person that you're speaking with. Do not make a generic video and send it off to everyone. That you will just be blocked straight away. So make sure you come across as confident, no filler words, no Irish slang, no like, right? If you're from Antrim and you're sitting there, oh sir, I really want to get a role with you, sir, as an appointment setter, sir, right? None of that bullshit. Talk like a human being. If you are from the sticks somewhere in Ireland watching this, slow the fuck down when you talk. Just like I've done here now. Slow down, speak a bit softer, no slang. Okay, speak with confidence, normal talking like this, right? Slight teething problem for the Irish. Just slow the fuck down when you make these videos. So make sure you're in a quiet space that looks professional with a plain wall behind you with a photo frame or something. Like for me, example, with a window behind me, not the greatest, not the best place to be taking it, right? But if I'm in a corner of a room, nice painted wall, photo frame up, that there's going to look a lot better. So just in the corner, nothing fancy, photo frame behind you, nice wall, you're going well. Again, here now. These are the interview tips because if you actually land an interview, they've seen your video, they've seen the message, like, you know what? I like this fella, we're going to take him on. You're then going to be on an interview with this online business, with this company, right? They're going to take you on for an interview to see what you're like, right? This is how you prepare for the interview. First things first, do your research on this business, do your research on them, make sure you know about them, right? Now, look at the content that business puts out and look at the testimonials and become familiar with what they say. Look at who's getting results. Look at what they keep saying about this business. Look why they got results, what happened, right? Become familiar with them. You show up to the call, like this guy's putting in an effort. He knows what he's talking about, right? Do not make the interview all about you. Don't be an average salesperson. I'm the hardest worker. I'll take calls day and night. I'm determined. I'll do this. Nobody gives a fuck. Don't make it all about you, okay? Show that you actually care about growing the business. Ask them questions. Where do you see yourself going with this company in the next 5 years? What is your plan for growth? How do you, I guess, plan for scale for growth in the company? Again, ask them what attributes they look for in an appointment setter so you know the type of person they are looking for. For example, if you ask them, how many appointment setters do you actually have working on your team right now? Let's say they say 6, and you say, okay, who is the best performer on the team? Let's say it's John. Okay, and what makes John the best performer to everybody else? What attributes does John have that everybody else doesn't have? Okay, they will lay out why John is the best one. So then you then know what it is they look for in someone to be the best, and you know then what you need to do yourself coming into this role so you can actually be fucking better than John, right? Again, the most important thing you can do is ask to role play so you can show them you're confident and you actually know what you're doing. You want to role play certain parts of the appointment setting framework, how to set, right? I want to role play with you. Let's role play. I know what I'm doing. Again, shows confidence, shows that you're worth hiring. So essentially, right, you've got to the interview, right? You've got to the interview there now. You're done with that. They take you on, you want to role play. This here, last but not least, is the best method to land a role, right? And that is, so this here right now is the best method to land a role. And this here is with networking and referrals. And this is why. You see, this is the networking stats, right? 70% of setting opportunities, closing opportunities aren't even posted, right? They're all word of mouth. Okay, they don't put them on job sites, they don't post them out because all they do with networking and referral. Who do you know? He's a good closer. Okay, give me him. Let me take him on, right? That's where 70% of the actual really good offers are. See, on average, going out every route I showed you will take you 5 to 7 months to actually get hired as a beginner with no experience. And it's going to be fucking dog shit. I'm not going to lie to you. See, 75% of desired roles, which is 10K plus a month, are given through referrals and trusted connections. You're not going to pull someone in off the street, um, realistically speaking, with no experience and put them on a role making 10K plus a month where they know there's a fucking killer. Like you have a killer on your team who knows someone who's a salvage on a different team and you really need an appointment setter and it's a massive offer where they can make a lot of money. They're just going to say, give me your friend because I know that you're a salvage and I know that he can be one. Whereas like, that's how it works. The guys who are really good in the space refer their mates who are also really good. So it's all referrals and networks of people that you actually know. So to get referred by a trusted connection, you need training or experience. Because why would someone put their neck on the line to refer you over if they don't know you and they don't know if you're any good? Like if you're reaching someone, can you put me on this role? Can you? I'm really keen, I'm really eager. Yeah, we get that you're keen, we get that you're eager, but it's like if you're dog shit, I'm now ruining my credibility by putting you on this offer. So the high ticket sales space itself is very connected, and you don't want to give yourself a bad name. Like, believe it or not, everybody in the space knows everyone. And it only takes you getting on an offer, fucking it up, and getting blacklisted, and nobody will take you on. And this may be hard to believe, but it is very, very, very true. Very true. The space is very well connected. So it only takes one bad referral. So he refers you over, you do shit, and then you're pretty much fucked from landing on the role, landing on the offer. Now, the best way to be referred and network with guys in the space who have experience and who are killers is through a training academies, especially if you are a beginner. Especially if you're a beginner. Now, it is not impossible to go down and get started with all those roles I showed you. 110%. It's not. Now, it is not impossible whatsoever to go out and get one of these roles and do well in the space, right? It's not impossible, but you're going to eat shit for a while. And it's going to be a lengthy process because someone can take you on for sure as a beginner, but they can go with someone with experience who knows what they're doing and take them on, which is why you see going down a training academy route where you can essentially learn how to set, right? You know how to do it, then you can be referred to someone then because they've got credibility because you have been trained. It's going to be one of the fastest and best ways for you to actually get up and get started with this as a complete beginner. So if you have any questions for me about everything that I've just went over, feel free to shoot them over to me on my Instagram at Conrad1. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have and help you out to get you up and going with this. Now, if you're someone who wants to go down the same path that I took to get started and essentially speed track your success by learning how to appointment set, becoming a certified setter, and being shown how to land roles and the opportunity to potentially be presented with appointment setting roles, then you can DM me and we can have a chat about it essentially. Guys, I hope this was of value to you and I'm keen to see you guys get up and going. I want to help you as much as I can. I hope this was of value and I'll see you on the next one, guys.